Hi, Nimble Superman back again. Anybody new to this channel? I pretty much review comics, movies. I talk about topics that are coming out of DC. Any kind of new news, I guess you could say. Um, and I guess I wanted to take this video to kind of talk about DC Rebirth. Because if you haven't figured it out, I'm a huge DC fan. I got a bunch of more stuff in my room. And there's been a lot of buzz about DC Rebirth, and I've been really wanting to find out more of what it's going to be about, because I pretty much buy all DC, with the books, and I'm really wondering what it's going to be, I would say everybody is. Everybody's kind of wondering what it's going to be. I heard a lot of the news from Bleeding Cool. I heard, Ethan Van Sciver and Jeff Johns are going to be doing something. We still don't know what it is yet. And how does Rebirth even go down? What is it? A relaunch? Reboot? There's just really nothing known. And we heard some rumors of, things happening. We've all heard it. Tom King is going to Batman, Peter Tomasi, Superman, Batman Monthly is going bi-weekly or bi-monthly. They're literally the same thing. There's also news of, canceling a bunch of books and that kind of thing. Again, it's all rumors, it's all speculation. Nothing's really known until it happens, and I guess this whole, things going bi-weekly, I actually don't mind that. I think, more stuff the better, right? When you think about it. But, if Superman status quo isn't interesting to read, it's like, I wouldn't want to pick up, Superman bi-weekly if, the story's not good. You know what I mean? Like, I'd still do it, but like, I wouldn't want to read it. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be just, I don't want to say torture, because I feel like that's a bit strong, but it'd be difficult to get into it. So, I've been kind of just rumbling around ideas as to what I would like DC Rebirth to be, and that kind of thing. And, just to give you some reference, if you haven't watched, who is Nimble Superman or anything, I'm just a fan. I'm not a writer. I'm not, a filmmaker. I'm not a comic book writer. I'm not anything like that. I'm just really just a fan that just has an opinion, just like you guys out there. And I'm sure a lot of people have thought about what they would like DC Rebirth to be, and of course, there's tons of people that just don't give a crap, and they're just like, I'm not buying DC anyway. So, yeah. Sorry. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of sit down and think about what I would want from it. And I guess a lot of my, ideas of how to go about it kind of evolved from some of the Bleeding Cool articles. The biggest inspiration for it was the whole how they're going to incorporate the Rebirth event. It's like, to me, it's like they're going to be like 0 issues. And then they're going to go on to the number ones for, I guess, the core books. They might do all of them, but I expect number ones. I'd be kind of shocked if there wasn't, to be honest with you. I really would. But anyways, I guess a lot of it started from that, where when Rebirth comes around, it's going to be basically a completely different direction, I would say, for all the characters, because we got to do something different. Because, I'm a DC fan, but, I'm not an idiot. I've really just not enjoyed really anything that's come out of the whole DCU event. Basically, all the stuff post Convergence. Basically, everything that's come out has either been mediocre or terrible. In my opinion, like, it's like, I would go as far as to say, and because, like, if you haven't seen my other Convergence video, I thought 2015 was like, and this is coming from a hardcore DC fan, it was probably one of the worst years to just be involved with the comics and reading them. And it really pains me to say that because I love DC. I'm gonna continue to support it. I mean, it's like, I love the characters. I just don't want to see them go anywhere. And obviously they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, I just, I want to support things that I want to buy. I want Superman and the Justice League comics and like other DC characters to do well. So I guess this is just it's more of my, I guess, version, I guess, of what I would do with DC Rebirth. So I guess I'll just get started because, 6 minutes in, why not get started? So anyways, what I guess would do, and this is all speculation, I'm assuming with Darkseid War, something big's going to happen out of that. Because anybody who's not reading Darkseid War, I mean, it's getting pretty big. Anti-Monitor's around, well, Mobius and that kind of thing. And Metron still hasn't really revealed what he's going to be doing. But I would assume something along the lines of affecting reality. I guess it's safe to say, right? So I guess my idea really stems from the idea that whatever way Darkseid War ends, because we really don't only have up till April in the solicitations. So to me, it's very possible that, the maybe issue 51 or 52 could be something with Ethan Van Sciver, or something along those lines. Basically, it's the idea that it's going to be a big event that affects reality. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea how it would go down, but I mean, you get big people like, Mobius and, Anti-Monitor. You get Flash. He's probably more powerful than he's ever been with the, basically the Black Racer entity in him. I mean, he's super powerful, so it's not impossible. Basically, that's all I'm saying. It's like it's not impossible for that to happen. And then I guess also my idea stems from the fact that I guess the DC kind of comics timeline that's going on right now. Because I guess if you looked at it, the things that are happening in the Darkseid War book are taking place earlier than stuff that's happening in DCU. Because to me, DCU is like present day DCU. This is what's happening. And Darkseid War kind of takes place it's somewhat in the past. It's definitely unclear as to how far in the past or whatever. But that's my, I guess, idea of it. Because I think Superman and Wonder Woman are still together. And that kind of thing. So, whatever happens in Darkseid War, if something happened to affect reality, it takes place in the past. And, it's very possible with all this DCU stuff, Darkseid War could just retcon it. Just get rid of all of it. And, of course, you're saying, holy shit, you just can't retcon a complete year's worth of stories. Aren't people going to be pissed about that and all that kind of thing? Look, I look at it like this. Like, what would you be more pissed about? Right? Would you be more pissed if they just kept going with the same continuity and things that they've done? Superman revealing his identity, going around with jeans and all that kind of stuff. And having to kind of come back from that, and like, do you really want to go down that road of however way that they get back to Superman, his identity being back to being secret, and you really want to go down that road? I don't, and what would you rather? Get rid of all that and then start somewhere a little fresh? Because when I look at the DCU, and the times I get really excited, with New 52, and it's like, oh yeah, this is why New 52 was a good idea, is when you see, art from like Jason Fabok on like Dark Side War and the Amazovirus and things like that, you really see the League looking badass, like just looking fucking cool. That's we need to preserve that, right? That's me. That's what we do. So I guess getting back to it, Dark Side War, retcons all that crap from DCU. And then you have this basically whole new future you can create now. And essentially, I'm so sorry, I'm kind of losing my place here, just trying to think of everything. I'm just trying to put it, because like I haven't really talked about it out loud, it's just all been rumbling around in here. You can also affect things also with, I guess, the timeline of reality, of not just the future. You can completely annihilate the future. But you can also, here and there, come up with different little things to change things in the past that, as to why not. Like, obviously I think of Superman because, he's my guy. I think this would be a perfect opportunity if we're affecting reality and the time and things like that. Let's bring back the Kents. Let's say they don't get killed in that car accident. I guess that's what they're doing with New 52. Let's not kill them. Let's have them alive. So, boom, right off the bat, Superman is doing a lot better. Like, he's got the cat. Because I always said that was a huge problem with the Superman books. That's why he's so dreary, and he's got nobody to talk to, and he's why he's, I guess, hanging out alone in his apartment on nights that he's got nothing to do. Like, it's because the Kents aren't alive. Like, it just makes his world a lot darker. So, boom, you bring back the Kents. You can maybe mess with the costumes, because that's another thing with Rebirth. I don't know what they're doing with costumes. I guess with Superman, I would just go more classic with it. Go back to using the classic Superman symbol, I guess, pre-Flashpoint, 90s Superman symbol. Just classic Superman symbol. You know what I'm talking about. We can go back to using the yellow on the cape for the Superman symbol. And I think for the suit, what we need to do is change the material. It's got to stop being armor. Like, I enjoy the New 52 suit, but obviously a lot of people don't enjoy it. So I think what we should do is kind of like a cloth, I guess, type of material. And it almost looks like spandex, but it's not spandex. That's the way I would kind of use it, I mean, you look at Man of Steel suit. It's not armor that he's wearing. It's this kind of material you would wear under armor. That's kind of what it is. It's kind of like Under Armour. You know what I'm talking about, the brand of sports clothing. So, yeah, that's the biggest thing. And you can't bring back the trunks. I mean, it's just, we're past that. We just can't. That's just one of those things we just can't do. So yeah, that's like the basic idea, wipe out the future, and then start over, with, little bits of things switched up a little bit. You don't have to mess with the continuity of things before, with New 52 too much. But yeah, that's just, the easiest way to me of how do you fix things now? And still, keep your New 52 and things like that, because I feel like that's important to DC. Obviously that, stinger for fans. And I also toyed with the idea of the whole memory thing. Because if you are reading Titans Hunt, I'm actually not reading it. I actually heard this just, from other people just talking about the DC books, that there's characters in Titans Hunt that are remembering things, I guess, from pre-Flashpoint, anything before New 52. They're remembering things. Things that they never did. And that's interesting to me because you can play with that. You can play with that a lot. That's my other, I guess, idea for the next crisis. Yeah. And obviously a lot of people have said it that, I guess I'll just say it. It's the idea that you would take New 52, and then you take, pre-Flashpoint, and then kind of put them on an adventure to basically really reboot things again. Basically have it like Crisis on Infinite Earths. You get a reboot, but it's not something like bullshit of just Flash fucking up with reality. I know Pandora was involved, but essentially that's what it was. Um, yeah. That's the basic idea of it. And then if you're going to really do a reboot again, like after another Crisis like that, with New 52, pre-Flashpoint, all that stuff, I think what we would do is have another, I guess, New 52 kind of situation where it's a complete reboot. We've got, things basically different. And obviously it would be a lot better because, we've gone down the road of things of what not to do. We don't have to do everybody's origins and all that kind of stuff. We know who a lot of characters are. And that kind of thing, I guess. Yeah, and also I had the idea of, again, going back to the memories thing, maybe if when you reboot it after Crisis, you have some characters who remember things from not only pre-Flashpoint, but New 52. So I was really thinking with Superman, because if I got down to what I would do with Rebirth, basically, you effectively take out DCU. You have Superman with the Kents back, and he has memories somewhat. Like, you'd obviously keep them limited, but like basically memories of Lois, with pre-Flashpoint. That way you can basically have some sort of plan to get Clark and Lois together, because they just been apart for a bit too long now. Not even just the idea of flirting with the idea of them getting together. That was done extremely briefly in New 52. Extremely briefly. So maybe it's time to get towards that. I also came up with a bunch of other ideas of what to do with the characters, of Aquaman, and what to do with their kind of new directions with Rebirth. Maybe I'll get around to doing that sometime, but that's the general gist of Rebirth. Wipe out DCU, start there around Darkseid War, maybe mix up some things with their histories a little bit, just little tiny things where it doesn't completely destroy the things we've done so far, and go from there. And then you've got really fun directions you can go with, because ultimately the problem with DCU is we're making stories that are not really resembling the characters, and it doesn't feel like we're doing superhero books as much. I don't know, I guess visually, and I guess story-wise too. I mean, that's the feeling I get. Obviously it's not from all the books, it's just the majority of the books. And especially the ones that DC promotes. So, yeah. That's just my thoughts, predictions. I guess what I would do with DC Rebirth. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Obviously, I would love to hear some comments, because I want to talk about this. I keep looking for videos all over the place, especially the newest videos that come out. So, message me, man. That's why I made this channel, to talk to you guys, the DC fans out there. And what would you guys do? What do you want DC Rebirth to be? Yeah, just let me know. Bye.